Welcome to Crosby Advisory Group. My name is Nate Crosby and I'm joined here with Macy Vogel. Macy, we are going to try something today that has never been done in the history of the world.
I think you might be overstepping that, but that's okay.
I'm not overstepping it. We are going to combine wealth creation and health. Two things that should go together, but oftentimes don't, right?
Right.
You know, if you look at somebody who spends their life neglecting their health in order to obtain wealth, what they find is they arrive in retirement years trying to spend their wealth to regain their health, and it doesn't work that way, does it?
No, it does not.
And you are a woman about town. You have talked to people and let them know about some of the things that we were trying to do today, and they said, don't do it, don't try it, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are professionals.
And we're not going to get hurt.
We're not gonna get
We're
hurt.
going to be fine.
Well, at least we're professionals at one out of the two, right?
Yes.
So today we are going to combine a little bit of talk about your wealth and wealth accumulation. Specifically, we're going to talk about debt. What is one of the most common questions that we get in our office?
So do I pay down debt or do I invest? And the answer is,
Maybe.
it depends. Yeah.
Just depends, right? It's not a black and white answer. We'll get into that. We're also going to get into a little bit of traps you might fall into with the new cashback credit cards that are very common nowadays.
Yes.
But before we begin, let's talk about this.
Okay, so the health part. We're making today a green tea antioxidant smoothie. This recipe was brought to us by our coworker Jacob, and a couple of things. So we are using regular green tea with this, but I actually like to, they have like a million types of green tea. I actually like to use the green tea with blueberry, but I couldn't find that, so we're using regular green tea today.
Okay.
Also, if you don't have frozen blueberries, you can use ice and just regular blueberries, but we do have frozen blueberries today. And before we get to this, we are going to use honey, but tell us about the sweeteners. And
Yeah, one of the big Macy and I both enjoy smoothies, and one of the big mistakes that you can make with a smoothie is trying to make it taste too good by adding too much sugar. And in our mind, it's a healthy, meal replacement, but in the end, what we're doing is if we add too much sugar, that we're adding way too much calories.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so I'll go over the recipe first, and then we'll just add things in and we'll try it. So the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of water, 1 green tea bag. You're gonna heat the water and then let the tea steep for about 3 minutes. 2 teaspoons of honey, 1.5 cups blueberries, 1/2 of a medium banana, 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. It actually calls for soy milk, but I think you can use whatever kind of milk that you would like. So what you're gonna do, what we did for the sake of time, is we already pre-made the green tea and let it cool, and everything's measured out, so let's do this.
Macy, I have to say that delivery right there was smoothie. Oh, come on, Jacob.
I like it. Okay, so add the green tea first.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, it's still a little warm, isn't it? And then a 1.5 cups of blueberries. You can use as many blueberries as you want, but again, you're adding more sugar the more that you add. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. And like I said before, we are just gonna use the honey to our taste. You can use as much or as little as you want.
What's the recipe call for?
The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of honey, but probably just a little squirt is fine. That's good. And then we're gonna blend it up.
Well, folks, if you have young children at home or anybody that can still hear, you might want to cover your ears on this one.
Just, you're not gonna be able to when he starts.
All right.
So at first glance, it's probably the prettiest smoothie I've ever had.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. Nobody got spilled, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Not bad.
I give it a C+. I think that maybe
It's not the most like flavorful smoothie, but it's not bad. I would drink this again.
The green, in my opinion, the green tea gives it the kind of a hint as if it has been strained through an athletic sock. And so I probably would avoid
That's
the green.
not the case here.
Green tea,
You
that's the
can't
first.
avoid the green tea. It's a green tea antioxidant smoothie.
It's true. There is a smoothie for everybody.
That's true. It is actually very good, and I will tell you, Nate and I have tried this recipe before, and it's very good. I would drink it again, and when I'm done drinking it, I feel really good. So,
Well, on to the wealth portion.
yes,
You had mentioned, as we had said before, the biggest question that we get in the office is, I've got debt, should I pay down the debt or should I invest the money?
right.
And the answer is depends,
Depends.
right? There was an article in 2018 in April of Money Magazine that stated that the average American between the ages of 35 and 50 have approximately $133,000 in debt.
But it's not all bad
Now,
debt.
it sounds like a lot, but it's not.
It does
Of course, you
sound
got to think people within that age probably have may have a mortgage, right? So a mortgage debt is much different, especially mortgages nowadays, which may range between 3.5 to 4.5 interest rate on that, is much different than a debt of a credit card, which is 20%.
Right.
Right? And some of the traps right now that we're seeing with the credit card is these cashback cards are the most popular that you're seeing. So a lot of the credit cards come with some type of reward system, whether it is a cashback or if it's travel miles or.
Well, here's the thing though with the credit cards, with the cash back. They sound great, but they don't give you the cash back. Not all of them give you the cash back unless you pay the balance off in full, right?
Mhm. Some of them give you a portion of it when it's purchased and then a portion when it's paid off. But you're right, some of them don't give it to you until it's actually paid off. So when they're used properly, when the credit card is paid off and you're getting a 3% cash back on gas, I mean, that can be a powerful financial tool. However, the trap is these cashback cards are the highest of the interest rates of the credit cards. So the average cashback card is around 21%. So if I'm carrying a balance on that card and I'm getting 3% on gas, but I'm paying
You're
21.
paying 21% on interest, so it really doesn't
Right.
balance out at all.
So a couple of things you want to look at is, what is the debt? Is the level of debt, is the interest I'm paying on this debt, is it something that exceeds what I can get through an investment account? And when I say that, I don't think pie in the sky. I think reasonably. So if I have a moderate investment account that's 50% stock exposure, a long-term return on that is somewhere around 6%. So if I've got debt that I'm paying over 6% on, and that's the way I'm investing in that moderate account, well, I might want to consider paying down that debt before I actually decide to invest.
Right.
But you have to be careful because, being debt-free is a powerful tool because if the less we have to owe somebody else, the less money that we need coming in. But we're setting ourselves up for a trap if we think the number one goal of a financial plan is to be debt-free. We can arrive in retirement, with our house paid off and no credit card debts and not owing any money to anybody, but we still have, likely if we own a house, we have property tax,
Utilities,
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah, so we have to feed ourselves and clothe ourselves. So
Yeah.
without having income coming in, we're setting ourselves up for failure. So
Right.
the goal is to be financially free, and if we can arrive there with also being debt free, that's great. But pay attention to the type of debt it is and
Yes.
decide if it's something that should be paid off as fast as possible, or if it's something that we should invest first.
And there's a great guru to talk to about that right here.
So, well, thank you for joining us today. Macy, anything to add before we leave?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us.